Hey guys, it's Grant with Local Scraper, and I just wanted to take a moment to introduce you to the program and to explain some of the new options if you're already an existing customer. So let's just hop right into things, and I'm going to go over the user interface for you. Right here we have the scrape target. These are the current sites that we support for scraping data from. Google Quick, Google Full are both Google Maps scrapers, but Google Quick is much faster and does not get secondary information. Google Full is slower, but will gather more information. The details that both of these collect are listed on the README page. This is the README page down here, but there is also a link to it in your actual folder included with the program. So it's much better if you just open it in your own web browser so you can watch the videos and stuff rather than reading it down here. But as you can see, it does explain what Google Quick and Google Full do. Okay, the same for Bing Maps, Yelp, and Yahoo and the yellow pages. What those scrape are all listed on the home page of the website, and then they're explained better here on the README page if you need specific details on them. So basically, to get started, you will pick one of these. We'll just stay with this one for now. And now you have essentially you have 4 different options of breaking down data on the website. You can use a keyword and a location, like pizza, and you can put Miami, Florida. This will now go to Google Quick. It will search for pizza near is the word we use, so the keyword near location. So pizza near Miami, Florida. It will run the scrape and it will gather the data. The same would be if we use Google Full. Now it goes to pizza, pizza near Miami, Florida, etc. On Yelp, it's the same thing. Pizza is the keyword. The location is Miami, Florida. If you're going to use a keyword, you must use a location. These 2 fields are essentially linked together, so they go together. A keyword needs a location. The next one will be the keyword list and the location list. What these are is they are lists, text documents. Let's see if I can open one up here for you, of keywords line by line. So in this one we have pizza, plumbers, hotels, line by line, and you would have it saved just like this. And then what you would have is you would have another text document right here, like called location, and the location would be, Miami, Florida, Key West, Florida, I don't know, and then a zip code 90210, sure. So the main thing you have to keep in mind with using the lists is that a keyword list must be used with the location list, and they must be the same length. So if the keyword list has 20 keywords in it, the location list must have 20 keywords in it. These 2 are linked together and only work with each other. So you cannot include a keyword list of 20 locations and then type in a location in this box. It will not work. These 2 must be used together. Even if the location is just repeated over and over again. I know it's a pain in the butt, but that's just how it works. So yeah, this would be what you would have to do. If you had 50 of them, it would have to be repeated 50 times. They must match up. The next option here is the custom URL. Google Quick and Google Full both do not use custom URLs because you can't get it from their website. But essentially what a custom URL is it is a URL that you've taken from the website. So we'll go to Yelp real quick. And it says we're in New York. Sure, we'll say tacos just like it recommends. And what this will do is it will give us this URL. See, yelp.com search tacos, New York kind of thing. So what the custom URL will do is it'll allow you to use filters if the website has any filters. So if we click here, all filters, and now we only want, Midtown, and then we only want mid-range ones, it'll give us these results. And if I want those exact results, I will copy and paste this URL out of there and into here. I'll then select Yelp, and then when I start the program, it will take me to this exact web page and get these exact listings that I had already found. The benefit to using custom URL is these filters. Several of the websites we scrape use them. You'll have to go in and see what they are and stuff like that. But the filters would be added to the custom URL bar here at the top. Well, they'd be added to the URL, so that is why we're able to use them. If you had only typed in tacos in the keyword and you had typed in New York in the location, you would not have been able to use these same filters that we're using now that are that you can use with the custom URL field. Once again, you now have another box. This is custom URLs. This is a list of them. So just like before, you would have a list. Line by line, we'll go with like this. There would be one. We'll change the prices to cheap ones. There we go, that's number 2. And as you can see, the price range has changed. Oh, it added both of them. Okay, yeah. Anyway, this would be still a different one. If we wanted even another one, we'll click like here. And then we'll have our 3 examples just like before. Let's pull this over so it fits all in one line now. So you'll have this, you'll save this as a plain text file. You will load it into the program. You click here and it says like where's the text file. You open the text file and then it's there. The benefit of using these list options is that they semi-automate the program. As you can already imagine, if you type in pizza in Miami, Florida, that will give you one scrape and one scrape only. If I wanted to run the same pizza search in the 3 different places without having to be here to continuously run the program, I would do so with these list options. So the list options give you a way to automate the program and to sort of leave it running overnight or as you're doing normal work. The thing to note is that these lists should be fairly small. It is a form of automation, but it is not a form of permanent automation. So you're going to want to keep the lists, personally I keep them below 20, which means this text document will be 20 lines long or less. That's kind of a pain in the butt, but the program can use a lot of memory. Scraping is very memory intensive, very computer intensive, and if you try to run it indefinitely, eventually it will bog down and just sort of kill itself off. So you'll want to keep the list short so you'll get the data that you want, then you'll want to close the program, then you want to reopen the program, and then you can run another list. Just think of it as kind of restarting it and giving it a break, and then letting it go again. Up here, the records found. This is how many business listings the program has found. So if we were to do this search with the like pizza, well, I can bring it up over here. If we could do this up, what it would do is it would come through and it would grab this one and this one and this one, and hopefully as it went through all the pages here, it would eventually get to 140. So for this custom URL up here, this will say records found. It'll say 140 right where my mouse is right now. That is only how many businesses the program has found, not how many businesses it's processed. So the main thing that you want to keep track of is current record. Current record is how many of the businesses have been processed by the program. So this could say 140, and this could say 10. And if it says 10, that means your CSV file that the program has been saving the data to only has 10 results in it. And the program will count up. Obviously, it'll go 10, 12, 13, 15. It'll go through the numbers there. And whatever this number is how many results have been saved by the program and you now have access to with Microsoft Excel. The current proxy, this will spit out a number right here of the current proxy being used by the program. Max threads is the number of threads that you have set for the program. Current threads is how many threads the program is actually using. We'll go into those in a second. Pretty apparent, the start button starts it, stop button stops it, and this nice big box over here is the log, which will tell you what's going on with the program. So if I just real quick, Florida, you'll see it'll come up, it'll say starting Yelp routine, it'll say like stage 1, gathering listings. Once it gets to stage 2, it'll say stage 2, and it'll come up here and it'll say the current records will start to go up from there. I'll just stop this because we don't need to let it fully run. So you get the idea, and this will keep track of everything going on. And sometimes I don't have full error reporting, but sometimes if a proxy's been banned from, say, Yelp, it'll say in here that the proxy has been banned. It'll give you the proxy number and several other things. So this is where all the information goes. This gray bar that showed up down here is a progress bar. It will go from gray to green. It will turn green as this number right here approaches this number, but I've stopped it before we got there, so don't worry about it. Okay, now on to the options. The options are where if you're going to use proxies, you're going to focus on this box. If you're using proxies, you'll obviously have to click Use Proxies. If they're free public proxies and you don't know if they work or not, you will want to check Test Proxies. Both of these will have to be checked. If you pay for your proxies and you know that your connection to them is valid, you don't have to test them. This test is only to make sure the proxies actually work, not if they work on the websites or whatever. So this is just a connection test. In the proxy list here, you're going to want to open a text file of proxies. They will need to be an IP port format like this. There's the port, this is the IP address, and you will need to have IP authentication set up for them. So what that means is that we do not support proxies with usernames and passwords attached. So no IP port, username, password. You'll have to go to your proxy provider and ask them to set up IP authorization for you. And I have another video down below this that explains that. So if you're using proxies, you'll have to navigate to the proxy file, and you'll have to check Use Proxies. That's about it. If you're using Hide My Ass VPN, you're going to want to open the Hide My Ass program. Let me see if I can find mine real quick. No, I don't have it open. Anyway, you'll have Hide My Ass open. You'll have it connected to one of your VPNs. So make sure the little green checkbox is there and it says it's connected. Then you will want to check this checkbox, and then you will want to set a time here for how long it usually takes you to disconnect and reconnect to Hide My Ass. So what's going to happen is that if you have this box checked, you will go back and you will hit the start button. It'll say starting the thing, and then it'll say changing IP address with Hide My Ass. And what that's going to do is it's going to disconnect you, change your IP address with Hide My Ass. It will wait this long until moving forward. So if you put 60, it will wait 1 minute now until the program tries to move forward. This is set up because I don't have a way for Hide My Ass to tell me when its IP address changes. So you will have to just guesstimate or use an average number here on how fast you can connect. And what this option will do, this whole Hide My Ass option, is that it will change your IP address at the beginning of every scrape. So if I was to do this one and I hit scrape, it will change my IP address. If I was to use a list, each list item, it will change your IP address. So essentially every time the program starts anew and tries to get to the scrape target, it will change your IP address with Hide My Ass. This was added because some users were having problems with the automated timed switching system, because if it was timed for every 5 minutes, it might change your IP address at a point in the program that it needed for you not to change your IP address. and it would kill the connection to the website. So by changing the IP address before we start the scrape, it allows us to get it out of the way and should keep you from getting caught and various other things. So if you're using Hide My Ass, again, there's another video that covers this down below, but you'll want to check this and put a time here. If you don't put a time here, it will default to 45 seconds. Okay. The scraper settings up here, these are where you will set the wait time for page loads, the max listings for the number of results you want, and the number of threads. So, for example, if I had a slightly slower internet connection, or my Hide My Ass VPN was slow, or my proxies were slow, or for some reason it just takes about 5 seconds for me to actually open a page on Yelp, I will want to set this higher than 5 seconds. So if I set this to 10, that means it's going to go, it'll go to Yelp, it'll wait 10 seconds, like 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. It'll get to 10. If we're on the stage 2 or whatever, it will click here. It will like open the page and it'll go 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. It waits. So what this does is it can make you seem more human to the website, because humans will obviously visit the page and then read over the content before going back and visiting another page. If you set this to like 1 second, there's no way that the page will load that fast, and the websites will become very suspicious because no real human will go to the website and visit hundreds of pages and only look at them for 1 second. The program defaults, if you leave this empty, at a random number between 2 and 3 seconds, so 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds. That's just what the default is. If you want it higher, go for it, set it to like 5. Obviously this slows down the program, but it also allows the program to run and not get caught, and make sure your scrape actually finishes, which I think is more important. The max listings is a rough number on the max number of listings you want. For example, Yelp has a result limit of 1,000 listings. So no matter what search you do, they will give you at most 1,000 listings, which is 99 pages. We can't really get to it, but there's 99 pages here, possibly. But if I don't want 99 of like 1,000 results, I only want the first 100 businesses from Yelp, I want to set this at 100. It will get to 100, I say roughly, because it won't know it's at 100 until the next page, so it will still scrape the next page. So in reality, 100 is more like 120 listings, but that's far better than it getting to like 1,000 and you realizing that you only needed the first 10 or 100 or something like that. So you're going to want to set this. There's no default. Put something in here if you want to limit the things. Threads is an interesting thing, and is that this will speed up the program dramatically in the second stage of the program. What I mean by that is that right now with one thread it would work similar to this web browser, and that I am just one guy and I'm going to click through each one of these little pages, and as I click through the pages, then I will later like click on each one of these things. So if I set this to say 2, it's now the same as if I had 2 web browsers and 2 copies of me going through the results. So what happens is after stage 1 we get on to stage 2 of the program, where the data is actually collected, and if it is one thread, it will do 1 page at a time, so 1 page, 1 page, 1 page. If threads is set to say 5, which you'll need proxies or Hide My Ass for something like this, then it's not just going 1 page, 1 page, 1 page. It's essentially just 5 copies of itself that are all going out and gathering web pages. So if in 1 second it took me to get 1 page with 1 thread, if I have 5 threads in 1 second, I will have 5 results. Now you see how this can dramatically speed things up if you go to like 50, because that means in the same amount of time it took you to do 1 at 1 thread, you are now doing 50. But this is super advanced. Most users will not be using this. It's very computer intensive, and it's very proxy and connection intensive. I would only recommend going above 5 if you have proxies or hide my ass. If you're going to go, say, above 10, you're going to need only proxies. Hide my ass is only one single IP address, and it will not work if your single IP address is opening 10 connections to a website. So if you're going to go very high, you're going to need proxies, and the more of them, the better. Okay? Personally, because people ask, if I'm doing something just for myself and I don't have any proxies or hide my ass turned on, or I just want to be really safe, I set it to like 2 or 3. It just takes more time, but I know the script will finish, and I just go about my work and I do something else, and I come back and I just get the results. So 3 is like a good, 2, 3 is a good number if you're really unsure. Okay, the file options, if you leave all of this blank, don't touch any of it, the program will auto-save the results into the same folder that it's located. If you want to change that, you'll click here, and it'll ask you for a location, which you can tell it to. So say the desktop instead of the program folder, or your documents folder, or wherever you want it to go, you select that here. If you want the files to have timestamps on them, you will check this box. Now when the program saves, it'll have the date and time that the program was started included with the file name. If you're running lists over and over again, this is a good way to make sure the program doesn't overwrite any old data. If you're worried about losing any data, or if you're not really good at keeping up with moving the files out of the program folder, you probably want to check this, and just make sure it's always checked when you run the program. Okay, finally are the advanced scraper options here. These may change, more may be added. This is where experimental stuff gets added and stuff like that. If you are, I'll start down here because this one you should be familiar with if you're a previous customer. Originally we had an option called Find Emails that would visit the business's website if it had one, and it would look for emails. In the newest version, we don't just look for emails, we look for Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus accounts also. So the Find Emails has been renamed to Scrape Website because it's no longer just finding emails. So what this does is, like I mentioned, is when it's on stage 2, after it gathered the business data, it will then check if there is a business website. If the business has a website, it will then visit that website, and then it will visit 30 combinations of About Us and Contact Us pages, hoping to find some working ones. And then it will look for this data. I mean, it obviously checks the home page as well. More stuff is added to this all the time. It's not 100% system, but I don't think anything could really be 100% when looking for this kind of data. It's more for just extra data if you need it, and automation if you were going to manually try to do that anyway. So just check this if you want it to check those websites. Up here, these two settings are currently only working with Google Quick and Google Full. This one specifically is Google Full only, and what it's going to do is it's going to check if the business is verified. To do that, it is going to take the business listing name from Google Maps, and it will search in Google Map Maker. When it's searching Google Map Maker, it will tell us if the business is verified or not. We had to add this workaround because of the new design of Google Maps and them removing the verified results before. So if you check this, it will add an extra step to the program. The program will now have to visit Google Map Maker for every listing. So if you had searched and had 1,000 results from Google Maps, it will need to open 1,000 connections to Google Map Maker and individually check them. So if you're going to use this, make sure you have proxies or the VPN setup, because Google doesn't really like automated bots kind of thing. It's off by default, so you can run the program and not have to worry about getting caught or blocked by Google if you didn't really need that information. Lastly is this new browser setting. This was added because of problems with Google Quick and Google Full. Google now is forcing us 2 versions of their Google Maps, a light mode and a full mode. The full mode is what the program needs to run, so sometimes the built-in browser that you see down here has issues with that, because Google only wants to give us the light mode because we're a built-in browser. It got really complicated, so I've added this option here if you want to try it out. And what it will do is you will need Google Chrome installed. You know, this thing, Google Chrome. You'll need it installed. You'll check here, and what it'll do is now when you run the program, instead of down here, it will actually open Google Chrome like this and automate the process around inside of Google Chrome. And we're doing this inside of Google Chrome because we need the maps to be the full version. And if we go to this real quick, you'll be able to see. Down here at the bottom, it'll say something like you're using the full version of Google Maps and yada yada yada. So if you click here, it will open the actual web browser instead of the built-in browser. It will go to Google Maps and it will do all the same stuff it was going to do anyway, but just now in Google Chrome. If you find this giant Google Chrome window automating itself annoying because you're using this computer for work or something like that, you're going to want to check here, and it will still do the same thing, but it will essentially just shrink this down so you can go about your business. So if you're like working in Excel or doing normal work, and you don't want like a giant web browser on your desktop that is automatically going through all of Google, you want to click this button and hide it. Okay, that's it. Hopefully the README section will help cover the other parts of the program I haven't mentioned. Make sure you read it over. I get constant emails from people that are having issues that are already covered on the README page. So make sure you check it first. If you have any questions after that, feel free to email me. I'm usually always available, and I try to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, that's it, and I hope you guys enjoy, and good luck scraping.